Whoa, check this out. The all new OMNIS-DUO by AlphaTheta. It's a battery powered DJ unit. Let's take a closer look. That's right, Pioneer DJ no more. Not quite, because AlphaTheta were the company that always owned Pioneer DJ. They've just scrapped the brand, so now we see an AlphaTheta logo. But in all intents, this is another Pioneer DJ product to come alongside the Pioneer DJ Opus Quad. This is the OMNIS-DUO, and it's a battery-powered all-in-one unit. So you can play all your music without any cables attached, just using the battery power. And it's also a first of its kind because it's got Bluetooth output. So you can send the audio from this to a Bluetooth speaker. In particular, their other new product, the Wave 8. As usual on this channel, this is a full deep dive review, so here are the highlights first before we get stuck in. AlphaTheta have created a very sleek product with this all blue unit. They've really minimized on the hardware controls, just like the Opus Quad, and putting a lot of the functionality within this nice touchscreen display. You've got your usual performance pads for recalling hot cues and loops, and standard jog wheels and mixer controls as you'd find on anything. But the unique feature really here is the Bluetooth and connectivity. We've got Bluetooth input and output, so you can connect your phone to this unit, and then you can actually record the Bluetooth sound in and control it for a first time. I've never seen this before on any DJ equipment, but actually control the Bluetooth audio, setting hot cues, using the jog wheel, changing the speed of it. Now, it's not a great implementation, but we'll look at that later. We've also got Bluetooth output, like I mentioned, so you can send the audio out of this unit to a wireless Bluetooth speaker, in particular the Wave 8 with this new Sonic Link low latency technology. I say new, it's new for Pioneer DJ, but we've covered a lot of wireless technology on the channel before, which you can check out. It's got the professional outputs, it's got battery power, but it's also got the mains power as well. You'll get about 5 hours on a full charge. It takes 3 hours to charge. And there's also an eco mode, which is a nice touch, which means that you can extend that battery life slightly more, which dims the display and turns off the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so some of those all important features. Now, before the comments light up, yes, this is basically a Denon DJ Prime Go that now connects to a soundbox. However, it's all under AlphaTheta's own brand, and we're going to look at some of the technology that has been brought into the game here from AlphaTheta. At the end, you're going to find out who I think this is for, where it sits in the market, and my personal thoughts and opinions about this unit. But now we're going to deep dive into this OMNIS-DUO and see what it's all about. So with this being a battery-powered device, there's a multitude of ways you can connect to it. As you can see along the back, if you're a USB DJ, you can just plug straight in, or SD cards, or if you want to use a laptop and use record box. With Serato DJ Lite support coming soon, you have many options for connectivity simply in a hardwired connection. But then moving on from that, if we go into the top of the unit and look under the hood, you can see in this screen here that I can connect via Bluetooth to my phone. I can connect to my laptop via the Wi-Fi and use Pro DJ Link with Rekordbox. And I've got my USB drive plugged in there as well. There are many options for connectivity. As you can see, this is one of the newest features, is connecting via Bluetooth to a phone, and you can actually take audio from Bluetooth and record it into this unit, and then even use hot cues, use the jog wheel, use the tempo adjust and everything else to control. So how that works is somebody simply comes onto here. It's constantly recording. You can see remaining 810, 809, and there's 10 minutes worth of recording time which constantly plays. I can clear that and it starts again. Then anything I play, now I'm connected, it starts to record in. Now I can't hear it because it's recording in there, and I can choose to load whatever is being recorded onto deck 1, for example. And then I have this here, as you can see on the waveform. Now, where is the limitation here? Well, ultimately, if I were to press pause on here, then what's going to happen is when it gets to that point, it's going to stop the audio. If I press play again, you'll see the waveform keeps updating, and eventually it will update and be playing the track again. So a bit of a weird way to go about this approach, but that's one thing, is being able to, if you want to control it on the deck and set hot cues on it, change the speed of it, then it's basically recording whatever's playing on your phone. So if somebody genuinely does come and request a song this way and then genuinely connects via Bluetooth, they then need to stay near you and make sure they play the song from the start and don't touch anything and just leave it playing in the background. So very strange integration. but that's one way of doing it. The other thing is, if I go back to source, you could just send it to the mixer, and then you can control it here. So we can play and pause the audio. If we're on the mixer, let me just eject it out of deck 1, put it on the mixer. It will play this track. Let's do it again. We can play it, we can go back. If we press shift and backwards and forwards, it will skip to the next track. And it's done that on my phone, and it's skipped to the next track. Again, shift, and then back. It'll go back to the start of that track, back again. It'll go back a song to the previous in your playlist. Very strange functionality, but you've got it. Okay, let me quickly explain the Bluetooth output on this. So there is a Bluetooth output the first time anything's been built into an all-in-one DJ system where you can send the audio directly from the unit via Bluetooth to any Bluetooth enabled speaker. But there will be a delay, there's a lag with Bluetooth, just like if you were to use it with your laptop to a Bluetooth speaker. There is a lag from when you press play. So that's not great for DJing. So what AlphaTheta have done is made this speaker to go alongside it. We've got the Wave 8 here with a separate review, but ultimately this adapter that comes with it will plug into any device such as the OMNIS-DUO, and then you get latency-free DJing. So that's a great new neat feature. If you pair these up, it works really well. But obviously this is just a box with an RCA, so you can plug any device into this and it will send the audio latency free, or very much latency free, to the speaker itself. There is no low latency Bluetooth output embedded in the OMNIS-DUO. It's via this external unit which comes with the speaker. But there is normal Bluetooth outputs. You can connect to a range of Bluetooth speakers. Just bear in mind, if you do use Bluetooth speakers, there will be a delay. So you're probably going to mix in your headphones, then take your headphones off, bring it out loud, because if you're trying to cue it up or press play or do a loop live out loud, it probably won't be in time. So keep that in mind. Now we've got that out of the way, let's look at the practical use cases of this unit. So like I said, we've got Jamie's MacBook Pro here. This is me connected via Pro DJ Link to my laptop. There are no wires connected. It's simply, they're both connected to the same Wi-Fi network. And I can look through all my playlists and tracks and load directly onto the unit here. I also have my USB drive so that I can load tracks directly from my USB. If I go back again, this is a really nice interface, and we can go to different parts such as the browse feature, the playlist, so we can set up to 4 playlists as our favorites, which is the playlist bank, and you can choose any and load it to a playlist bank just by tapping it for easy access. We could go to the search function and type in a track that we're looking for, or within there we've got the tag list if you want to tag specific tracks and then recall them at any point in your set. On the right hand side, you'll see we've got waveform and settings. Waveform just goes back to the waveform view where tracks are loaded, and the settings is some more of the stuff under the hood. So these are mixer settings, mic settings, deck settings, and the waveform settings. Another layer still, we can click utility and go to the advanced settings, which has things like deck modes, mixer settings, general, and info, which we'll look at a bit later. But that's the basic navigation around this new OS within the AlphaTheta DJ units, these all-in-one units. There is one last bit up here where we tap where the battery, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth icons are, and we get the battery information and the Bluetooth inputs and outputs plus the Wi-Fi. We can also switch the appearance from dark to light within here and change the display brightness, or with this touch display here. Eco mode will turn off the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and it will dim the screen to make the battery life last a little bit longer, and it's a simple toggle switch there, which is a nice little touch. So I was just in the middle of this review with the OMNIS-DUO, and I just had a thought, like, why is it that AlphaTheta have not included third-party streaming? I'm thinking, well, they're obviously trying to make an ecosystem with Cloud Library Sync, and could we maybe see a streaming service from them in the future? Because I feel like it's just such a big oversight to not include access to millions of songs. You know, everyone is moving away from physically downloaded music, and with it being wireless, like, why is it not accessing wirelessly millions of songs that are available through all these streaming services? The integrations are already there, so it's just a weird thing to think. Like, I'd love to know what you think in the comments. Anyway, back to the review. As we move through this deep dive review, you'll find that a lot of the functionality has been moved from physical hardware buttons into the screen itself. quite similar to the Opus Quad. This allows for the minimalistic design and just putting some of those essential things at the fingertips. Things like the jog wheels. The jog wheels, obviously, we need them as DJ. We can nudge the track faster and slower and control the track, whether to scratch or scrub through it. And you can turn the vinyl mode on and off within the touchscreen just there. Q and the play button feel really nice. And then we have our 8 performance pads. These are simply the hot cue mode. So if you're used to a controller with many different performance modes, they've been scrapped. All we have here is just to emulate what a CDJ would have, pretty much, is the hot cues, which can activate save loops or jump to any point in the track, and you can set these on the fly or delete them. It's as simple as that. Above we have beat jump controls. Again, you'll find this on CDJs, and you can jump through the track a predetermined value. You can change that value by holding shift and then changing it. At the moment it's on 16 beats, so if I go forward and backward, we can jump 16 beats at a time through the track. Next to that, we have the auto loop encoder, and we can set a loop. We can click it in to set it, chop it down by turning it, or make it bigger by turning it the opposite way. As far as performance features goes, it's as simple as that. It's the essentials that you would need to perform a nice, solid, clean set, but it's not to replicate what controllers can do. This is more aimed at the CDJ DJs, the ones that would use CDJs to put a set together. Now, there are a few other things to point out on the actual hardware itself. We have our browse controls with the load, so we can scroll through our playlists, click in and out and load tracks in that way. We also have the mixer section, which, as I mentioned, the faders feel really nice to mix with. We've got these 3-band EQs, plus trim controls and the sound color effects. These sound color effects are taken from the DJM 900 Nexus 2, so we can apply a filter. But we can also change it with this toggle out touchscreen. Press the filter here, and then we have sweep, crush, noise, space, and dub echo, as you can hear. Just below that, we have the beat effects controls. Again, you can see them within the screen, and we can change between 8 different beat effects: delay, echo, trans, flanger, spiral, reverb, pitch, and roll. They can be activated and turned on with the on and off switch. You can turn the level up here and change the beat fraction here. For your sound output, we have our headphone controls with channels 1 and 2, with a cue master and a level. And then up at the top, we have the booth, monitor, sound output level, the master output level, and then the mic 1 and 2 levels on top too. Lastly, there is the Bluetooth section. This allows us to play a song through the mixer and then skip to a next song in a playlist playing from a phone. We can preview a song using the headphones here, and then we can pair by holding down the Bluetooth option. Very primitive, very simple. And then, like I showed you, you could layer an actual Bluetooth recording into a deck and manipulate and control it like a normal record, albeit with some limitations. And that's it. Everything else that you would need is within the screen, and it's kind of hidden within there. So this whole screen's touch interactive. Any part of it, there's different things we can do. So if we were to tap on this section here, you'll see that the tempo adjust comes up, and we can do plus and minus 6, 10, 16, or wide. We can turn the master tempo on and off. These would be physical buttons on CDJs, for example. We also have the sync controls, which are touchscreen on here. Again, that would usually be a physical button on the equipment. On each player, we have this drop down, and you can use the memory cues. Again, physical buttons, usually on CDJs, and we can turn the memory cue, recall different memory cues if you've saved them on your equipment, and that's done within here as well. Then there's some pop out menus. So on this left hand side, we can pop out for deck 1 and deck 2 and turn on different things like the quantize and the slip mode, and turn them on and off. And like I mentioned before, the jog mode. And then on the right hand side, we can pop out the effects like I've already shown you. In the browse section, we can scroll up and down like this and flick up and down. You can see it's full color display, and you can hold any of these waveforms to preview in your headphones the tracks before loading them. You can load with the 1 and 2 buttons, or you can just tap it again and it will pop up with load 1 and 2. You can choose to organize your playlists in different ways with this drop down. So we can do it by track name, artist, album. We can also tap the title header here, and you can see, we've got BPM and key in ascending or descending order, and it toggles through those different options there. We could do track in track order, ascending or descending too. Above we have the track filter option, and all these filter options, quite advanced stuff for music management, but if you know about that, we have access to that on here as well, just like on CDJs, and you can do it by my tag or by BPM and key. We also have the search feature, which will go to the keyboard where you can search through your drive of music. And then we can go back between layers, all using the touch screen. Scroll up and down here to find different options, and it's all very intuitive. You can flick once and it will go into that next layer. And then we can tap in and scroll up and down. Then the rest of the functionality goes deeper into the settings. So we can go on this icon here with the battery and the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth icons. You'll see some battery information. We can turn eco mode on and off, which extends the life of the battery and turns some of the features off and makes the display dimmer. Some of those, features that use up a lot of juice. We can change the appearance from dark to light, depending on the environment you're in. You'll find light is better in an outdoor environment. We can change the brightness of the display here. And you can choose some of your Bluetooth input, output, and Wi-Fi settings all within there. We could X off that. There are some more settings as well. If we press the hamburger menu and go to settings, you'll see we have the mic settings, such as the high and the low EQ, which we can boost or reduce. The deck quantize value, 1/2, quarter, and 1/8. We've also got the vinyl speed adjust, so how long it takes to break the track. And you can change that within here. Then crossfader settings, such as the crossfader curve, whether you want a sharp cut or through. The upfader curves, whether you want a linear curve. Headphones, mono, split, or stereo. Again, all of these things are usually found on the Pioneer DJ, DJM mixers, but within this OMNIS-DUO, it's all built within the touch screen, and it's tucked away so that they can create the nice, sleek layout. We've got the EQ mode, EQ or isolator, which will totally kill the EQs if it's on isolator mode, or EQ will minus 26 dB them. And then the waveform you can choose from 3 different colors. Advanced settings you can access by tapping utility, and within there we have things like the load lock, which can stop you from accidentally loading a song into a playing deck, the vinyl speed adjust, whether you want it to break just on the touch or the release or both. You can overwrite your hot cues with a current hot cue, auto cue level, and play mode as single, in case you want to leave a playlist just playing through. Then in the mixer, we've got attenuators and booth output controls, whether they're stereo or mono, plus lots of mic output controls, whether you want to send them to the booth or the record output or the USB output. Under general, we have things like the language, the time zone, the font size, and a screensaver, plus power management controls. Lastly, under info, you'll see the version number and some of the battery serial numbers and serial numbers of the unit itself. So what does all this mean for someone like myself? Well, I love playing on Pioneer DJ products, now AlphaTheta, and I feel right at home, just like on their whole ecosystem of products. I've found my way around the screen very intuitively. The settings are really easy to understand, and it's really brought the forefront of what I would utilize as a standard mixing DJ, not performance based, but just putting a solid set together DJ. It's brought all of that hardware control to my fingertips without cluttering it with all those extra features that potentially a lot of DJs don't need access to be able to turn on and off on a regular basis. So saying that, this does feel amazing to play on, and it feels very premium, it feels very nice, and there is a price tag to go along with that, as you're about to find out. So my thoughts and opinions, well, it is a very niche product for, I think, quite a small segment of the market. I feel like there's a lot of technology being tested within this unit before they roll it out further, and it's a way for them to launch the AlphaTheta brand and move away from Pioneer DJ to say, look, this is our new sleek look and finish, and these are the kind of products we can create. But that price bracket is high, especially for the market it's intended for, because in the press release, it's all about being a party unit, take it to parties, play with friends, they can request, you can control their requests, yet it's a super premium product. Also, it's battery powered, so another intended use is to take it out in the wild, throwing parties on the street, at the beach, they say at the campground, things like that, but it's not waterproof, it's still something you need to take care of, and it can't just be out, to the elements. So just something else to bear in mind, that it is a premium product, and it would probably look nice in a nice venue on a nice mobile DJ setup or event DJ setup, or in a nice little bar. I love the new operating system that AlphaTheta are rolling out within this OMNIS-DUO and Opus Quad. I feel like it's very intuitive and feels nice on the screen. However, the fact that third-party streaming has been omitted from this is a red flag for me at this stage especially, and I feel like it's something that needs to be rolled out, because this is intended for people to take out and use and throw at parties, you know, take requests. But instead of being able to just take a request, you're now asking someone to connect to their phone via Bluetooth, which I just feel like doesn't have the right functionality yet, as you've seen. And then also, you want to access all these thousands of songs. You know, DJs nowadays are used to being part of a streaming service. Fair enough, it doesn't have Spotify, but it doesn't have any of the actual DJ streaming partners either. And I think trying to put everyone under this AlphaTheta ecosystem just now is a big stretch. I get the cloud library sync. I get the way that you'd want to, you know, synchronize your music in the cloud and access it on this device, then on a laptop, then on a mobile. That's great. But you also need the option to sign up to a service to access the world of music to just have fun with. So that is something that I wish was here at launch. Maybe it will come in the future. Who knows? The Bluetooth output, I feel is really cool. I think that's something that should be rolled out further and explored further. I can see more and more Bluetooth speakers with low latency becoming the norm. And yeah, if we can get rid of wires, especially in small bedroom environments or small parties, that would be great. I appreciate in big sound systems, in big clubs, you still want that wired connectivity. But for the intended use of this, it's great to be able to have wireless output. With all that said and done, let us know in the comments what you think of AlphaTheta and this new product. And you can go check out the Wave 8 review and also see this in action. Lawrence has done a mix on it, which you can go check out as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.